Hello, and welcome to School Health Presents Talkin' Tech with Dr. Ray. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the textured floor mat puzzle pieces. We've talked about them in the past. We've talked about how, of course, the word floor assumes that you're going to take these pieces, put them together, and set them on the floor. We also spoke about how you could put them together and put them on to a wall so that you would have a true sensory area where individuals could actually experience different sensations. I want to talk to you about another way of approaching these today that many times people don't think about, and that's to augment what's going on at the actual learning or working station of that individual. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, one of the things that I've seen used quite well is using these mats to be placed either fully underneath that learning area, like on top of a desk or a wheelchair tray, or off to the sides. Why? Let's talk about the sensory aspect first. Let's say, for example, that this particular carpeted texture is something that allows for an individual to calm down and be a little bit more focused on their work. Well, what I can do, since I'm right-handed, I'm going to put it over to my left-hand side. I can just have that sitting on my desk with my hand resting on that. And perhaps I'm reading something, or I'm taking notes, or maybe I'm even working with the computer where I'm still able to access the information, but now off to the side, my hand's simply resting on top, and I'm able to get that sensory feedback. We can also be using, again, the tiles like this right underneath what we're doing, where maybe we're resting something like a keyboard or a mouse right on top, because what it's doing is giving, in this particular case, just a light texture, where if a wheelchair tray is down or something smooth like a desk, that might not be the type of texture an individual likes to have. It's also a great place to rest things, or even put a cup and a plate and have dinner going through that. Why are we talking about putting this underneath? Doesn't that take away from what's going on? The answer is no, it doesn't in some cases. I'm always going to qualify things in some cases because there is no one size fits all. But oftentimes, what we forget is that an individual really needs to have sensory outputs around the area in which they're studying or working. What do I mean by that? What are some of the examples? Well, one thing that you may not realize as I do videos like this is that I've got a desk buddy sitting right at the edge of my laptop. Why? Because every once in a while, I'll just need that feedback. I've also got things like a school health tangle toy off to the side to augment, again, my ability to focus on what's going on here. Having these types of tiles around allows you, again, a multi-purpose usage of them. So they're not just sitting on the floor waiting for somebody to come over, or sitting in a wall waiting for somebody to interact with them. You're using them on a daily basis and finding those things that really provide the most support to our individuals going through. A question I've been asked when I've recommended this to some other groups: are there textures that actually detract? That's going to depend on the individual. Some individuals are going to find maybe the ones that are a little bit more rough, a little bit off-putting, and that's okay. What we want to do is find what that medium is. You might have some individuals that are looking at things and maybe have something like this that reminds them of a stuffed animal, or for a few of us, reminds us of shag carpeting back in the 70s. But again, what we're trying to do is find that product that allows for that de-escalation, that allows for more of that focus on attention, because we're allowing our kinetic energy to interact in a different way. As always, I thank you for everything that you're doing. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And if not, I look forward to seeing you somewhere down the road.